All right, so it's been about a month since I last uploaded a video. And by the way, I had my honeymoon with my wife, we're building new systems in Kaizen, and we're currently at over 40 plus hired team members on staff. So it's been busy on my end, but I know it's also been very busy in crypto too. This is because we had some of the craziest news since the start of this year. This includes Donald Trump launching his own meme coin a day before the inauguration. And what's even more crazier is that after the launch of the project, the market cap went to $12 billion within just 24 hours after its release. And that's not all. We've had plenty of pro crypto executive orders. We've had a ton of collaborations getting mentioned in the space. And it seems like we've only had great news since the start of this year. But what's really been interesting is that markets really haven't been reflecting all the positive news that's been coming out. Look, a lot of you guys already know this, but I've been in crypto since 2018. And let me tell you, in case you don't know, this market right now is way different than we've ever experienced before. The playbook currently is getting rewritten with new rules, there's new narratives, and if you really want to succeed, you really want to make money, then you need to pay close attention to this video here, because what's worked in the past and even just a few months ago is completely changing in what works and succeeds today. Look, after all, my goal here is to help you guys make money. If you get into crypto just to lose it, I mean, what's that? It's some pathetic poo-poo sauce, that's what that is. So let's keep it straightforward. By the end of this video, here's what you'll learn. Number one, my top reasons why I still believe we're about to enter and go through the greatest bull run of our lifetime. Number two, I'll then share with you our personal predictions on where I think this market is headed next. Number three, let's go over the key moves that you can then make to capitalize on this new innovative market to make as much money as possible in this upcoming bull run. Next, we'll then go over the top crypto narratives in the market right now and which altcoins that we believe can still make a run. And last but not least, folks, got some words of wisdom. I've been trading a lot more. I've been up millions of dollars. I've been down millions of dollars this past month. I mean, the chop was real, and I've learned a lot of important things that I wanted to share with you towards the end. All right, so let's get started. Where are we in this current cycle, and what is the meta? Because the meta, look, the meta is changing so often these days. So first, we had the Trump meme coin mania. Look, those who were able to get in quick were able to do pretty well. This was the first time in a while where I've seen my crypto timeline just be filled with all these people who made millions of dollars in a single night. For anyone who didn't get in, you pretty much went through some of the worst FOMO and emotional damage that you've probably gone through your entire journey as a crypto investor. Needless to say, since then, market has been volatile. Unlike previous cycles, we now have more tokens that are getting published every single day. I'm not talking about a couple hundred tokens. I'm talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of tokens that are being created. A lot of these are being launched off of Solana's pump.fund, and this is creating this huge black hole where money is getting sucked out of some of these higher market cap cryptos that we're so used to investing in. To me, it seems like right now, both sides have been rather exhausted. At the time of filming this video, I mean, market's moving up a little bit, but altcoins still haven't gone parabolic, and bears are also too afraid to short the market, thinking it's going to go down further. As I mentioned earlier, the narratives are quickly changing, but I believe as soon as we get more money coming back, Bitcoin able to hold its price, then we're going to start seeing narratives pick up from where we last left off. So with that said, well, where are we today? At the time of filming this video, Bitcoin is sitting at $105,000. Look, I know a lot of people thought as soon as Trump entered office, we're going to have a massive buy the rumor, sell the news event. But over the last month, I mean, markets haven't really taken that big of a dip. Granted, altcoins have gone down, but Bitcoin, it's still holding within this range. Aside from that, Ethereum, look, not many moves being made here this cycle on this coin. In the last month, I mean, they're actually still down 3%. And the highest we've seen Ethereum rally is just under $4,000. Now look, towards the end of the video, when we actually go into some of the narratives and altcoin plays, I'll dive even deeper into where I think the true opportunities will lie this cycle. For now, let's start with the basics. Where are we in this bull run? So here's why I believe we're about to enter the greatest bull run of our lifetime. All right, so just recently we had the FOMC meeting, and overall it went pretty well. In a nutshell, Powell said that inflation doesn't need to be at 2% for the Feds to consider reducing rates again. That simply is bullish because we're getting even more possible rate cuts coming up. Powell also mentioned that they'd be expecting further progress on inflation and that the Feds currently feel like they are in a good place. Inflation remains somewhat elevated, but right now the economic activity continues to expand at a solid pace. So if the labor market is stable and the Feds are seeing that inflation is also relatively stable, This simply just means the economy is in a much better place than they thought. Now, this recent FOMC meeting was pretty informative. That's because he actually talked a bit more about crypto and he seemed more open to this idea than he has in previous meetings. Powell highlighted that the Fed's role in crypto is mainly to oversee banks. He also reaffirmed that banks are fully capable of serving crypto customers and that the federal government, their goal is not to terminate legal crypto accounts. Powell also mentioned the need for greater regulatory oversight on crypto, something that we've all known. Overall, it's a pretty good meeting. And if we want the markets within altcoins blowing up, Bitcoin skyrocketing, and all of our bags to start pumping, first things first, we need the economy to stay stable. After that, it's as simple as the S&P 500, stock markets continuing to rip. Anytime interest rate cuts happen, that definitely helps out the crypto markets. But those are the main three things that we need in order for us to see these massive bullish moves. Now, look, all those things that I mentioned, that is the foundation of what we need for crypto to continue to grow, altcoins to lift up, but that's not all. In crypto, one of the most important things you need for narratives to continue on, altcoins to continue riding, new money entering the space is catalyst events. An example of a catalyst event was the Bitcoin halving event. This follows a 4-year cycle, and I'll go over that in just a little bit because there is correlation between that and the cycle of the bull and the bear market. Before we do that though, let me cover some of the other reasons why I think this bull run is going to be the greatest ever. So number one, Trump's inauguration. President Trump has been making multiple bold statements about how he's going to pretty much make the US the dominant country for a pro-crypto administration. Now look, words are words, but it's always better with action. And we're actually seeing action taking place. For the first time ever, we have the most pro-crypto administration with a Republican-led Congress with strong pro-crypto representation with 59 in the Senate and 289 in the House. This here is so important, and it's for a few reasons. Just because Trump is bullish on crypto doesn't mean all these things will get passed. He's going to need people who are sitting in the Senate and in Congress to also think similarly in having this pro-crypto stance, which is exactly what we have now. Not only that, but we had something called Operation Choke Point 2.0, which not only that though, but we also had Gary Gensler recently stepping down and getting replaced by Mark Ueda as the new official head of SEC chair. I think this is pretty underrated. I have not seen many people talk about it, and this one is huge. Look, most of you guys know how toxic Gary Gensler was for the industry. He approached crypto as regulation by enforcement, and I can tell you, out of all the projects and partners and people we know in the space, this single person has single-handedly pushed away crypto innovation and what could have made the US an even greater country over the last 8 years. I mean, look, whether it was the SEC throwing Wells notices, suing some of the biggest exchanges, or going after everyone in the industry but the people like SBF or even Do Kwon, the ones that actually made a dent where it harmed investors. I mean, even to this day, it still blows my mind how the SEC did everything so opposite in the time that he was in office. I mean, things are shaping up for the better. Mark Ueda, most people don't know who he is. Let me give you a rundown. This guy isn't just a random person on the street. He was former SEC commissioner, and opposite to Gensler's approach, Ueda wants to focus on flexible regulations to help advance crypto innovation. And Ueda has even publicly mentioned numerous amount of times of his pro-crypto stance and his want to end the war on crypto. All right, so what are his plans? Well, Ueda is starting his own crypto task force to develop clear regulatory framework, something that we've never got in the last 4 years, so that finally we can get clarity within this space. This means no more of Gensler's regulation by enforcement, but instead we can know the rules so that crypto is simpler and easier to follow and navigate so that we can have true growth without having to look past our shoulders in the worst chance that the SEC starts to come after you. So with Ueda coming in, I think mass crypto adoption is going to accelerate. I think there's going to be even better companies either moving back to the US or deciding, okay, I think we're starting to have the green light and making more moves so that we can continue to bump up the US as a strong country within the world. Now, the third reason why I think we're still on track to enter one of the best bull markets in history is the fact that for the first time ever, we have true movement on something called the Bitcoin Reserve on the way. Now, I'm sure you've heard the headlines, you've seen the rumors, and who knows, maybe by the time this video is out, there's going to be even more news developing on this. But let me share with you really why this is so important. You see, the US has always had what you know as the gold reserve. Currently, it's worth $605 billion. Now, the US gold reserve is held by the Federal Reserve, and it's used to strengthen the financial stability of the country and to help support the US's dollar role in international trade. TLD, TLDR, if the US ever goes through some real wicked hard times, because it's happened and it can happen again in the future, the country has an asset that they can rely on. Now, President Trump and several other government officials have mentioned the need and also the current works of a new Bitcoin reserve. Whether this is a crypto stockpile, a Bitcoin strategic reserve, whatever you want to call it, right now the government officials here in the US are working towards expanding their crypto holdings. That gold reserve that I talked about, the one that the US has been accumulating, building up, well, they're pretty much just trying to make a Bitcoin version of that. By the way, this isn't the first time either we've had countries following suit and establishing their own Bitcoin reserves. In the last few weeks, we saw the Czech Republic's central bank approve a proposal to also consider Bitcoin as a reserve asset, eyeing a $7 billion purchase. The state of Illinois has also proposed a state-run Bitcoin reserve with a 5-year HODL mandate. Even Texas is stepping in to file a bill to officially establish their own strategic Bitcoin reserve. Arizona, South Dakota, I mean, we have many states right now that are trying to get ahead of this. Look, a lot of this news does not get spoken about. It's not that sexy for people on Twitter to blow up, but these are things that are in the works, and you want to know what's happening so that you can fully prepare now, knowing the effects of what this could have later on. Simply put, if states and the federal government continue to buy Bitcoin, we're going to see Bitcoin going up in price, and that's going to have an effect on how the entire crypto market moves this year. Now, if all these promises are delivered, I believe the US could also become the main global leader in crypto over the next several years. The importance of the US market having a good grip on crypto is that this is when we truly have the bull market blowing up. Look, back in 2021, it was really the US market with Dogecoin, Elon Musk, all the investors. I mean, I was just walking around, getting dinner, going to the gym, and I remember still just how euphoric everyone was with every single person just talking about crypto. Look, I haven't seen anything like that since then. But look, if the government is going to continue to make progress on this, and we've already seen Trump enact hundreds of executive orders, then I think it's safe to assume that the government, they are moving on this, and they have some pretty good chances of making moves happen. So look, we have future catalyst events coming up. Economy is looking good. AI is heating up. I mean, we know innovation is happening within this cycle of the market, but let's go over some real historical data. And something I like doing is actually showing visuals. I'm a more visual person. I don't know about you. What you see on your screen here is Bitcoin's average returns by month since 2010 to 2024. Now, if we look at Bitcoin's average monthly performance since 2010, its 4 worst performing months are June, July, August, and September. That's why there's a saying in crypto, which goes sell in May and go away. Seasonality within crypto, just as you have wintertime, when things get cold, you get bundled up, and then you have spring and summer, is very similar to what we have in crypto. We have seen through every market cycle in the past true dominating seasons where crypto does well and other seasons where crypto doesn't do so well. What this means is trading activity and market liquidity, they tend to decrease during the summer months with less momentum. Everyone's out of school, they want to enjoy the weather, but then October, after things bottom out, is usually when we see a return of big market activity, bigger rallies, and even last time we had Bitcoin's 10x surge in late 2017. Now, while Bitcoin continues to perform positively, altcoins tend to outperform then as liquidity spreads across the market. This here is what we know as the altcoin flow. Now, I'll go into that in a little bit, but before I do, let me just clearly go over where we are in this cycle because a lot of you guys are still a bit more hesitant. So the Bitcoin cycle is what I've seen to be the most consistent way of just zooming out and seeing where we are within this market. Take a look at this chart here on your screen. Shout out to our graphic design team. Melissa, this was dope. Here are the key takeaways. Every 4 years, we see a reduction in the block rewards for miners by half. This is the halving event, and it's after this where we get the market starting to rally. So in a Bitcoin cycle, you get a bull run that lasts 1 year, you get a crash that generally lasts 1 year, and then you have the crypto winter in between that before the next bull run. Now, at the time of filming this video, we are definitely not in an altcoin season. Bitcoin has been holding up in price, and it's been just holding all of it, and investors have been waiting for all that money to just start pouring back into altcoins. Instead of what we all hope is going to happen, we've just been seeing that money go from Bitcoin, skipping all the altcoins, and then just going straight into the trenches of Solana. So what I just mentioned there is the path to altcoin season. Bitcoin then goes to Ethereum, then it goes to large caps, and then boom, we have the altcoin season cycle. What's happening right now is we go Bitcoin, boom, phase 4, something that really hasn't happened before. Instead, what we're having right now is Bitcoin's going up, money's not really flowing out of Bitcoin, and we have this massive PvP, not in all the altcoins, but in just a specific sector I like to say it's like the graveyard. It's the area, the spooky place where if you don't know what you're doing, you're new to it, you're probably going to get wrecked. That's the trenches that I'm talking about. That's all the meme coins that are getting launched. That's where right now all the activity in the market is happening. And the problem with that is new market participants will FOMO in, they will lose their money in the trenches, and people who have just been doing this for many, many months or even years, they're the ones that keep raking in more cash, making their bags bigger. Right now, crypto is PvP, and generally, if it's player versus player, the player who is more experienced is 9 times out of 10 gonna beat the player who is new to the game. It's because of that reason we're in this funky state of the market. We're still in a bull run, but we're not in this massive euphoric run that we've experienced in the last cycle. So with that said, what do you need to know? Well, I think it's now more important than ever before for you to make sure that the fundamentals of what you know as an investor and trader are truly locked down. Look, when it's easy mode, you can just buy a random altcoin and you can wake up and it'll be up. But in a market like this, or even those same traders, some of the best that I know, they're round tripping right now from trying to make a massive bag during this time. I'm sure some of you guys watching this video can relate. I mean, the last few months, I'd say maybe 10-20% of you probably got real lucky. The other 80-90% of you guys maybe I've been struggling. And if that's the case, I'll share with you why it's going to be okay. But before I do, let's talk about those actionable steps. So number one, this is more important than anything else. Before we even get into the altcoins and the narratives, write this down somewhere. You need to learn how to size your bets properly. Look, we are going through a time in the market where if you're overexposed and you're playing on tilt and you're buying in all these meme coins, trying to make the money back, this is how you actually end up losing all of your money in crypto. Understand how to size your bets properly. If you're working with a $10,000 portfolio, you obviously don't want to be buying meme coins that are just getting released for $5,000 or half of your entire portfolio for you to risk. This relates to number two, understanding proper risk reward ratio. I've mentioned this a lot of times, but I have to mention it again. Look, when crypto gets a bit easier, you can be a bit more loose on that risk reward ratio. But in times when things are hard, you have to be strict. You have to set the stop loss. You have to be willing to take a loss. One of the hardest things that I've seen new investors stomach. This is because just as fast as you can make money in crypto, you can easily lose it all too. The best example that comes to mind for this is, most of you guys know, I ran my first marathon a week after my wedding. And look, I had to pace myself. The marathon was going good, right? I felt pretty fast in the first half of it. I was trying to do 8-minute miles, which is fast for me, all right? As soon as I got near the half, because I didn't pace myself, I was gassed out. Your boy was cramping all the way towards the finish line. I could barely make it. A lot of you guys are going through that same thing. You are trying to just come right out the gate, swinging, making 7 figures from a $1,000 portfolio and setting yourself up for failure in the hopes of reaching this unrealistic goal. Look, patience in crypto is everything, but not only that, it's also learning to manage your greed. Look, genuinely, I want to help you guys. And if you do not understand those two concepts right now, you could easily round trip your entire bag or simply lose all the money that you had ever even put into the market. Now, tip number 3 here, something still important, something that I've seen even some of the best in the industry have not figured out, and this is to determine your own exit strategy. Look, I know it sounds a bit too early right now to be talking about exit strategy when all of you guys are still eager for the next leg up, but I gotta mention this here. Before you even decide to invest in any coin, you should always have an idea of when you're gonna exit that certain play and when you plan to exit out of the broader crypto market. From what I've seen in every cycle is that the bull run eventually comes to an end. I personally do not believe in such a thing as a super cycle. I frankly think that's ridiculous. We've only seen market cycles, even within stocks, guys, happen every single season. So in order to help you guys maximize your profits, it's important you start figuring out how you'll maximize your profit potential when you're gonna de-risk in the case that the market decides to turn around. Look, I think this video is gonna be like 3 hours long if I end up talking about everything regarding exit strategy. So right now, I'm working on putting that video together. It'll come out. Stay tuned for that. The last thing I wanna talk about here is the flow of money. Look, within crypto, there's always some kind of flow of money. The thing is, in the 2021 cycle, the flow of money was just everywhere. Larger narratives were able to sustain. I mean, money would just flow down from high caps to low caps, and it would just keep going to then new projects and tokens getting launched. But this time around, the flow of money within narratives is happening even faster with the rotations than ever before. As you guys know, AI agents was on a tear. I mean, we had Virtual's protocol hitting $5 at its peak before all of a sudden everyone decided to start rotating out into the next narrative. The way I think of it like this cycle is just imagine the whole crypto market on ultra ADHD. There is no focus, it is complete distraction, and anytime there's a new shiny object, people are just running towards the next new thing. Now you could definitely do that, but I don't know many people who are constantly staring at charts, who are able to also react consistently day after day, week after week, months after months to prepare ahead. So this is where for me, even though the market wants to move in all these different quadrants, I'm still holding true to where I think are the highest conviction projects. Where easy mode turns on, everyone becomes excited and optimistic again. I know that money is gonna flow right back to where I was sitting. So let's go over that in this upcoming section, narratives and altcoins that I'm still looking out for. Now, before I do so, just a disclaimer that I say in every single video, guys, a lot of the projects that I'm talking about here all have incredible risk just because of the nature of crypto. Do not invest anything into crypto that you are not okay with losing. My goal here is to help you guys have a better edge in the market and to share with you guys things that I wish I would have heard that would have saved me and made me a lot more money back when I first got started. But keep in mind, folks, just because I name a specific project as one of my top favorites, it doesn't mean that I'm always right. And even just a few months ago, I mean, there are still positions out of the few that I've hit that have still gone down. So I just want to say that in this upcoming section, guys, my goal is to just help you guys, but I want you to do your own research, not follow even me blindly because I just can't get everything right. And I also want you guys to know that with these tokens that I talk about, I'm going to have exposure in it too. Now, look, I can't say what other channels do, but for me, just to keep it fair, I don't buy every single project that I mention. I'll give you the plays. I'll let you know what I think, but I think it makes it more fair knowing that I'm not just loading up here on every single thing that I talk about. So with that being said, let's go over my 4 to 5 top narratives of what I think is still gonna do the best during this market cycle. Starting with number 1, the US crypto tax narrative. Now this one is new. I don't even know if that name for it is right. But let me share with you what this means. Earlier, I had mentioned why we think the bull run is still on through Trump's push for improved SEC regulation, the permission for banks to offer crypto custody, and even now the government wanting to have their own Bitcoin reserve. Well, Trump has been doubling down on his pro-crypto stance and even allowing incentives to US-based crypto projects. So if you take a look at your screen, you'll notice some of the top cryptos here between Coinbase's 50 index, crypto projects that are made in the USA, World Liberty Fi, what they've been buying up, which is related to Trump, and then also Grayscale Trust. Look, I recommend you just pause this, screenshot it if you're looking for some easy plays to follow along, or if you just got a friend who knows nothing about crypto and they're like, yo, what do I buy aside from Bitcoin? I mean, this here is a pretty solid starting point. Going into the whole US crypto tax narrative, there are many rumors right now going out that the government is going to introduce a bill for investors to pay 0% capital gains tax on US-based projects like XRP and HBAR and more. Now, these rumors aren't just from, an uncredited source. This actually came from Eric Trump, who confirmed and additionally even said capital gain tax for non-US based projects will be 30%. This is huge news, especially for anyone here in the US, because all those gains that you make in crypto, you don't have to worry about paying taxes if this ends up going through. Now, look, if this actually gets passed, I know as an investor, I'm gonna be even more incentivized than ever before to just buy tokens in the US. All right, so what crypto projects fit within this criteria? What can you add to your new watch list? Here we go. First of all, XRP. Look, XRP has been the top high cap crypto of so far. Look, this year, XRP has clearly been the MVP. No rhymery or pun or whatever just happened was intended. It's just the flow of what you get with Bijungi. Look, XRP, also known as Ripple, was going through one of the worst and longest SEC lawsuits that all of crypto has seen. So pretty much all that got cleared up way long ago. And we've been seeing XRP performing really well. It's more than likely we might even see XRP get an ETF this year. And even the CME futures is confirmed for launch on February 10th. There's also a narrative too that Ripple CEO Brad Carlinghouse has been collaborating with Trump and the US government to advance this pro-crypto initiative. And the CEO is also suggesting a case to Trump that XRP could have a monumental role in the government adoption we've been looking for. On top of that, I mean, XRP has a very strong cult-like following. They had a massive, great year. And there is a broader narrative that it could be the banking crypto for this cycle. Now we'll see if any of this really does pan out, but what I know is that so far XRP has been on a run, and if crypto continues to pick up, I wouldn't be surprised if XRP breaks even more all-time highs or even potentially get close to flipping Ethereum. Now, although I don't have any exposure right now at all to XRP, hey guys, maybe after filming this video I will. Something I do have more exposure to is Sol. Sol, also known as Solana, has been chosen as the network for Trump's meme coin. Right now, they are the furthest along in the ETF progress. They're coming out with all these new updates where they're reducing more inflation and they're getting even faster than they currently are. If you compare Solana against other chains, I mean, they are clearly by far one of the strongest winners. All the major meme activity has been happening there. Phantom, Jupiter, I mean, all these Solana related projects have been doing well. All the stuff that I talked about earlier with being in the trenches and all these tokens that are getting created, it's on the Solana network. So this year, if I were to choose any big layer 1, layer 2, I think Solana has a great chance of being able to make some big market movements. And if the market does go parabolic, I mean, I remember in 2021, Sol was pretty much just a vertical candle. If we see the same effects of that happening, a $750 Solana or $1,000 Solana sounds crazy now, but it's not out of the question. Another crypto to be on the lookout for, AVAX, Link. I personally love Sui, Aptos. I mean, these are some solid, safer picks that have been around since the last cycle. They've been building, and they also qualify for this possible no crypto tax benefit that might come out from the US government. Out of all the ones that I've mentioned, I do have my biggest bet on Sui. I talked about it plenty of times on my channel, who they are, what they're building. But just to give you a little TLDR, here's what it is. Sui right now is known to be the Solana killer. It's a little bit too early to tell, but it is definitely a viable beta to play as an alternative layer 1 play. Adoption right now with Sui is happening fast, and we're also seeing more builders moving over there. I mean, even so far in this last 1 year, this project has still been moving, starting at under $1. When it started cooking up and having its rallies, usually the pumps are pretty strong. In the most recent pump it had, it went up to $5.29. It's currently sitting at $4.20, and I think easily it can hit $10 and more. And I think if the market plays out the way I expect it to, and we enter that euphoria, there's no reason we don't see a $20 Sui this cycle. Now, I don't want to be a moonboy. I don't want to just throw crazy numbers out there just so that you guys get locked in on that. I think more realistically, $7.50 to a $10 median term price goal is still on the table. Just keep in mind, folks, all these things that I mentioned earlier in this video still have to line up. The economy, stock market performance, and what the feds want to do with the interest rates. Now, the great thing about all these cryptos I talked about is you also don't need to go on chain. So whenever we get new money coming in, retail deciding, all right, I'm ready to lose all my money again in crypto. Hopefully not. Hopefully they come in and make more money. Now, the great thing about 90% of these plays here is that if retail decides to come and enter the market, they won't need to download another hot wallet, go on chain, use a decentralized exchange. But all these plays are very easy for normies to buy. This is great because back in the 2021 cycle, a lot of people don't know this, but you didn't actually have to go that deep on chain in order to make some of your biggest 10, 20, 30x gainers. In the 2021 cycle, all you had to do was buy something on a centralized exchange, hold it, and you'd be good. So all of these cryptos that I'm mentioning today are listed on an exchange like Coinbase. Now, this integration here, buttery smooth. I love it. I love when it's a partner that is reputable, it's solid in the space, and it's probably something that you guys already have heard about. I think this segues pretty well. Now look, if I'm speaking to you and for some reason you don't even have a centralized exchange set up, let me share with you what I've been using, and that's Coinbase. So when I first started my whole crypto journey, it was Coinbase, one of the first exchanges that I used in order to invest into Bitcoin and find some of these other altcoins in the space. Right now, Coinbase is the #1 exchange here in the US, and there's a lot of good reason for that. You can buy, trade, and sell many different cryptos. They've been listing a lot more projects. They have world-class security, and they've continued to improve their app with features like Coinbase Advanced Tool, Coinbase Wallet. I mean, I got Coinbase One that I signed up for, and I've been loving that too. Now, if you're looking to use a good, reliable exchange, I put my name behind Coinbase. Check out the link down below in the description. By using my link, you'd get access to a better deal than if you were to just sign up on the App Store. We've been a partner for Coinbase for many, many years, and this is right now where I'm doing all my onboarding, where I move fiat USD over into crypto, and it's where I can easily move crypto back into my checking account. If you want to check out Coinbase, I have a link for that down below in the description, where you can also use that to check out some of the other projects that I've mentioned so far. With that being said, guys, the next narrative here, I mean, I'm sure most of you guys know where this is going. It's a no-brainer, but this is Base. We've mentioned Base so many times. I believe we're also one of the first creators that talked about this way before Base got any kind of inflow. And that's because back then, and even now, my conviction and my bullishness on this narrative still remains strong. Look, to me, Base is not just another layer 2, but it's actually backed by Coinbase. Look, I didn't mention this in my ad read just now, but Coinbase, by the way, is an institutional powerhouse. Brian Armstrong has been massively involved in all the political movements through the Stand with Crypto, which Coinbase is a massive part of, and all these strategic moves that have been happening within reshaping the regulatory landscape. Look, if there's anything I'm going to bet on the #1 crypto exchange here in the US. I know the US is going to start picking up, and if they have any kind of exposure on chain, which is Base, you bet I'm gonna make sure that I have my eggs lined up there. A few best case opportunities is if we see some kind of unprecedented potential collaboration set up between the Trump administration and Coinbase for Bitcoin reserves. This year would still be massively bullish for Base and the entire crypto ecosystem. Now, the reason why I've also been coming back to Base though, is if you remember when I was talking about Solana capturing all this market attention right now, Base is actually still doing the same thing. If you take a look at this chart, you'll notice that the Base inflows is still just as high as Solana, although all the money seems like it's been going only into Solana. Right now, Coinbase is doing what they can do best. It's innovate, it's expand, and it's making sure that they fit within the right regulatory confinement. The beauty about Base is that they have all the benefits of being connected and related to Coinbase without all that regulatory pressure. Ultimately, though, the reason why I'm bullish on Base is that Coinbase is going to have an incentive to list their own Base-related projects, and I think this is right underway. I also know Jesse Pollock, the CEO of Base, being pretty vocal about getting more Base projects actually listed on Coinbase's exchange. The reason why Coinbase listing exchanges also are bullish, guys, is because we even saw this recently with a Base meme coin called Toshi, where as soon as it got listed on Coinbase, meaning people could just buy it on Coinbase without having to go on Coinbase Wallet and going on a decentralized exchange like Uniswap or Aerodrome to swap, we saw Toshi going from $100 million market cap to over $800 million market cap in just the span of 24 to 48 hours from just getting listed. So what we know is that anytime a project gets listed on Coinbase, the Coinbase listing effect is still real. We get massive pumps with that project. And if you have a Base-related project, with Coinbase changing their listing policy, it makes sense that this is where you can position yourself to sharpen that market edge. All right, so 3 Base-related projects. Number 1, AIXBT. All right, this here is still dominating as a top social media personality. If you have 600,000 AIXBT tokens, you can pretty much use its terminal. This right now is by far the best research agent in crypto. It was one of the first to release. They are still all over Twitter, and it got so good that anytime AIXBT even talks about a token and just replies to something, we see also that token blowing up just because of how spot on it is and everyone trying to buy whatever AIXBT talks about next. Not only that, but in terms of their tokenomics, the team is introducing a new way to sync its supply. Now, the way I know you're on a good project is when you see hundreds of different derivatives that are getting made. Even right now, we have all these different projects trying to make the next AIXBT. Look, I don't like using the word blue chip because in crypto, I don't know if anything really is blue chip. But if I were to say that something has massive potential, it can keep making a run, I think AIXBT is one of those safer, lower risk, lower reward kind of bets. Now, if you want something even more conservative than that, you have Virtuals. Look, Virtuals was on a massive run up when the narrative was truly on AI agents. And I'm telling you, the last time we saw AI agents popping off, I mean, we've been calling Virtuals protocol before this even all happened. We were all back here talking about it in early 2024. But since then, guys, this had ran up to even over $4.61, even close to $5 on other exchanges. Since then, to be honest, $2 looks like it's a steal. I mean, I would not be surprised by the time this video is out, we see Virtuals picking back up, going towards $3 and $3.50 before it pulls back down once again, and then maybe retest previous all-time highs once more. AIXBT, lower in market cap, has real utility. Everyone knows what it is. It's even been popping off on a platform called Kaido, which we also are very bullish on in the Kaido Yaps coming out later this year. I want to make note that Virtuals is also another safer play that you can look into. It's higher in market cap. You need Virtuals in order to buy all these other AI agents getting built. And when the money flows back in here, naturally virtuals just has a steady increase up in price. Now there's another base narrative play that I'll talk about in just a little bit, but on the topic of virtuals network, this segues us pretty well into the whole AI agent narrative. This is because in my last video, I guess I'm not capping when I say from last year, that's how long ago it was. We were still talking about how AI agents would be one of the strongest narratives for this cycle, possibly even bigger than what DeFi was back in 2021. Let me explain more of the reason why. So the biggest disruption since the last video was DeepSeek's new AI model. This is China's version of OpenAI, which was developed for just $6 million, which is fractions compared to the billions of dollars OpenAI needed in order to make ChatGPT and what we know as the best AI agent today. Well, look, it's been a few weeks since the whole DeepSeek news came out, but that was such a massive moment. It wiped out over $1 trillion in the stock market in just a single day. This even resulted in Nvidia losing close to $600 billion from its market cap. Now, all this sounds pretty bearish, but it was actually pretty good for crypto. This is because DeepSeek has demonstrated that you don't need millions of dollars to build top tier AI. This is great for crypto because it lowers the entry barrier for projects integrating AI, and we can start getting rid of this whole FUD that, oh, all AI agent plays are just ChatGPT wrappers. Look, although I'd say majority of them are in a sense, we are right now just at the pinnacle, at the tip of the iceberg on what I think the functionality of AI agents will soon become. Another reason why I think the whole DeepSeek thing and why AI agents is good is because we're getting more competition. Competition is simply good for any market space. Think about Samsung versus Apple, think about AWS versus Microsoft, whatever comes to mind, competition usually raises the ceiling and it helps us investors or users to enjoy just better tech. Now, I just want you guys to keep in mind, price has been dropping within the AI agent narrative. I understand that. Now, I'm down a couple $1 million within my plays, but I'm not worried at all. Fundamentals within this narrative have been improving. Yes, there was some dilution with just everyone trying to make a new AI agent play, but I believe the strong are going to shine through, and I believe money will rotate into this next as soon as we get better confirmation that the market truly is ready for the next leg up. At the time of filming this video, the total AI agent market cap is down 50% from all-time highs. What I've also realized is people tend to get overly excited to want to buy and invest into things when things are like right here at its peak. What I've also realized from me just doing this whole crypto YouTube stuff for over 5 years now is that generally most people tend to get really excited and want to buy here, not here, or not here. So if you've been looking for a discount, you think things are pumped too much, AI agents right now have had a massive cool down. And if we do have another leg up, this is where I believe you can position yourself still relatively early enough where you're not top blasting a new project. So as I mentioned earlier, Virtuals Protocol is still a great project. AI16Z, which also rebranded to Eliza OS, another safer project. Arc is another AI platform, larger in market cap that I think could have some more sustained growth. And if you're looking for some more higher risk, higher reward plays, I'll just go over real quick my list here. We have Cookie, OPAIUM, Quant, Hive, Intelligence, Hint, Luna by Virtuals, Jailbreak Me, Loomlay, Agent Algo, Alchemist AI, Hack, Convo, Mizuki, Agency Gecko. Now look, a few of these projects I'm down a good bit on. So let me tell you, you are getting in at a discount, and I bought in knowing that, look, when markets pick back up, AI agents resume, I believe these easily could go to 30, 50, or even $100 million market cap when money starts flowing. So the fact that you have some sub 5 mil or $10 million market cap projects, I think the risk to reward is very strong. As I mentioned though, as a disclaimer, some of these projects I am holding a bag in, and it's up to you guys to do your own research to follow up and to see what you think is a good play. Next narrative to be on the lookout for, meme coins. Guys, I know this sounds a little redundant, okay? You don't want to hear about meme coins ever again. You've heard about it, you see it, you smell it, but I have to mention it because when this whole market pumps, meme coins, they go crazy. Look, ever since Trump launched his own meme coin, it has set a completely new perspective on how this whole narrative might play out. I mean, even after Trump launched, we had Melania Trump, the first lady, announcing even her own official meme coin. which right now, yes, it actually ended up rugging. So clearly this should be a good example to show you how massively volatile this space can be. Luckily, the members inside Kaizen all got an alert when I had actually bought in on this. I closed out on $200,000, and collectively, I believe as a group, we made a couple $1 million here from going in on this trade and selling before things took a massive dump. But I have to reiterate, guys, sometimes it's not gonna be the most attractive things in crypto. It's gonna be the same playbook that just puts itself on repeat. So I believe if new retail decides to enter the markets, they're going to be first attracted by meme coins. Meme coins are still one of the strongest retail narratives in crypto, and right now it's getting easier than it has ever before with some of these apps like Moonshot, which allows you to pretty much trade crypto without going in on chain. I think this year, meme coins are still going to have a massive play. The president of the United States has his own meme coin, and the opportunities here within the space is endless. But the massive issue here is just the fact that it pumps real hard, but just as fast as it pumps, the downsides are enormous. Knowing all that, I think you can still take it a step further. And instead of just buying a meme coin that gives you a few chuckles, like I get it, you know, fart coin, all this, it's funny and you can make money. But I believe that if you're able to truly build an edge and know the full narrative on why you buy something as simple as a meme coin, you can increase your chances significantly of actually being able to make money out. So that said, what is my favorite meme coin project? I mean, this should come to you with no surprise. I've talked about it a lot ever since it was below 1 cent. It went up as high as 30 to even 40 cents. And right now it's pretty much at half off from where we've talked about in our previous video. Now I'm still holding a majority of my bags here in this play. Congressman Mike Collins had purchased SKI twice. So before Trump had even made his own meme coin, we had a government official from Georgia actually buying this meme coin months before Trump did. And if we're in a world where US government officials are buying meme coins, it wouldn't even be that far of a reach if we say meme coins that include SKI or even Trump could even qualify for that no capital gains tax in the US. Now, out of all the meme coins, what I love about SKI is that it has the strongest community on Base. We talked about how bullish I am on the Base network and what I think meme coins are gonna do this year. I think SKI still has some of the best cultural effect, and it was able to hit $350 million market cap without any tier 1 listings. And I believe we still have a ton of those catalyst events with Coinbase listing it, maybe Kraken, maybe crypto.com, who knows? All I know is that when Base gets a ton of its inflows, people start looking for the next Base meme coin, SKI will get those inflows, and before you know it, just as Toshi hit $800 million in market cap from that Coinbase listing, we could see the same thing happening again for this. Now, what I like to compare SKI to is WIF. I mean, WIF had hit $3 billion in market cap. So right now, at the time of even filming this video, there is still massive upside for the fact that this is sitting at just $146 million market cap. But if I'm looking at other change, I'm still most bullish on SKI as being the #1 meme coin on the Base network. But if I'm looking at some of these other chains, because as Base has its #1 meme coin, you'll notice that other chains, other layer ones are going to have them too. So where I'm looking at is places like Sui. There's a meme coin there called Lofi. Personally, right now, I got no exposure into this. It had a massive pump before. It is right now the #1 meme coin on Sui by market cap. And Lofi has one of the biggest crypto liquidity players back in the project. This year's Wintermute. It's already listed on places like Mexi. It's flying under the radar. And this is another project too that has no major centralized exchange listings yet. TLDR here is if Sui ends up running again, I believe just like what we've seen happen with Base going into meme coins, Sui would go into the next meme coin, and that could be Lofi. Now, rather than just giving you guys a few more plays, let me just tell you the playbook of what we've seen happen. So right now we're seeing more companies and celebrities coming out with meme coins. And what we've seen is on the first day, it'll pump pretty hard, but you probably want to get out after that. Look, this really is a game of who can get out of the burning house fastest. If you stay in there long, you're going to lose everything, but the longer you stay, the more you're going to build up your wealth. Just be careful. Another alternative is that if you see a meme coin launch, generally on the second day, we've seen it completely crash. And that's been a strategy where I've known some people in my network make couple $100,000 just by knowing to long when it launches and then short on the second day. Now, obviously something like that isn't going to happen every single time. Sometimes meme coins can just pump to infinity. And if they have ties with Elon Musk or some big official where everyone in crypto is getting excited over, you never know how much it can run. But for the most part, every meme coin usually hit its peak. And after that, after it cools down. But from what we've seen, meme coins can just have massive rallies moving forward. And your goal is to just capitalize on that initial pump. Now, the only other meme coin that you should add to your watch list is going to be Pudgy Penguin. This coin called Pengu actually had a massive airdrop. airdrop. By the time this video goes out, they're pretty much going to be burning about 10 to 15% left of the supply for that airdrop. And anytime you burn tokens, that just pretty much allows for the price action to go up. I think that right there is a short-term catalyst play. And if the market conditions were ripe, I do think Pengu would have had a massive tear, still even being able to challenge $2 to $3 billion in market cap easily. All I know is if the market really picks up, ETH ends up getting a little bit more inflow, things start going euphoric again, I know that NFTs are going to have a return. When NFTs start pumping again, usually tokens related to that are going to have another massive ripple effect. And that flow of money is going to mean that something like this, where it's at what I think is a relatively strong discount, will eventually go back up, and not only that, make even higher highs. One final thing, guys, I want to just share a story here. In the past month, I'm not going to lie, trading during this chop was pretty rough. As I mentioned before, I was down a couple $1 million, I was up a couple $1 million, and all my trading portfolio that I took from $15,000 to $600,000 and documented every single step of the way, I almost round tripped that whole entire bag. Look, there's been a lot of volatility so far, and my whole point I want to make is this: if you feel like you're not doing well or crypto has been hard, you're definitely right. It is hard, but it is going to get better. It's in times like this when the market's chopping, I like sitting on the sideline and I just want to build content systems, hire new leadership for our team, make some banger videos for you guys. For you guys watching this, it's a time where you can refine your strategy, clean up your portfolio, do more research, and understand these strategies on how you yourself can be a better trader. Now, the last few months is really also where I've been able to take a step back, have a breath in the market, and to take the time that I've really needed to just ask God where my priorities lie. If I'm just constantly staring at the charts and waiting to make more and more money, where it feels like personally, even for me at this level, it never feels like it's enough. So what I've really learned over the last month is the act of just surrendering. Look, crypto is fun. It's very addicting. You can make a lot of money, but don't let the highs of crypto overwhelm you, because as the highs come, the lows are going to hit just as hard. And it's so easy when you're on cloud nine, making a lot of money and you're rotating into narratives and you're hitting, to think that this is going to keep going on forever. Now, I think this cycle is still going to last. Long term, it's going to be great, but I just want to say individually for you guys watching this video, learn the act of surrender to balance your emotion and to make sure that your priorities are still in the right place. Here's a verse that stuck with me, guys. If you believe in the Bible or not, I'm sure this can still help you guys out. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 to 13. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you, and you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. So what this means to me is, at the end of the day, money will come in, money will go out. But real wealth here, the kind that doesn't disappear overnight, is built upon faith, wisdom, and the lessons you learn from being in this market. So if you're just feeling this boulder on your shoulder, or the constant urge to just always check your portfolio when you know not much has changed, or the anxiety creeping in when things aren't going your way as an investor, just take a moment, step back, and ask yourself, where am I really placing my trust? Look, all of this is a marathon. Even though we're not probably going to see another president drop a meme coin like this again, in front of us today are 10,000 more trades, 10,000 better opportunities, 10,000 more better risk to reward plays that are still waiting for us. So out of all of this, guys, I just want to say, crypto, it's okay if emotions are getting a bit rocky, and it's okay if you haven't been performing well. With that said, just make sure that you are always in control of your finance. Do not overinvest into these markets. It can get very dangerous very fast, but I still believe that this is still the best opportunity for your average person to be able to make explosive wealth. I've seen it happen countless amount of times. And even for me, with all the businesses that I've started, this has been by far the easiest way that I've been able to generate significant amount of wealth. Instead of starting your own personal brand, doing your drop shipping, whatever, marketing agency, crypto has by far been the easiest, but that comes with risk. Learn to manage that risk, folks. And I believe when the market starts picking up, we're going to be seeing some great days ahead. So I appreciate all you guys for watching this video here. If for some reason, by the way, you want to learn more about what I'm doing, some of the stuff that I'm building, why we got 45 people on our team right now, you could take a look at the link down below in the description. There's no pressure to join. It's if you guys want to come through. We have a great community, over 5,000 members in there within Kaizen. This is not not a trading signal community, by the way. Do not come in here if you think I'm gonna be a money printer and just give you guys all the plays. I want to do that, and I hope to do that many more times this year, but this is gonna be a community where you can learn, educate yourself more, get access to some of the best researchers and analysts within the space, and connect yourself with a good, vibrant community. I know Kaizen has changed the lives of others, but there are some people too. You join Kaizen, you don't get value if you don't put in the work, if you don't have time to look through the plays and learn the basics of crypto. But if you do have that time, you are hungry, you are motivated, I believe the $200 a month fee that you pay is just a peanut. It's a fraction of all the value and the returns that you'll get if you end up putting the work. So I'm gonna have that link down below in the description. We're currently on a wait list, but who knows, maybe we'll do a promo link down below, or we'll expedite the wait list, which is about 1 week long. I'll let you guys know what we do there. If you haven't done so yet either, be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And by the way, we're also starting up a vlog channel. A link for that will be in the description of this video. And for everything else you guys need, one last time, Coinbase link is down below. Check them out. Thanks to Coinbase for sponsoring this video. Have a nice day.